the San Andreas Mercenaries DLC update. Now this update's probably a lot worse than what we all thought it was originally. Where do I begin? I mean, seriously, do we talk about the cars? Do we talk about the missions? Do we talk about the bugs? Anyway, there's going to be timestamps below if you just want to watch certain things from this video. I think I'll start off with the cars. Now, I think we did know that there was going to be doing this, and somebody did ask me when we were live streaming, check the website, but originally I thought they were only going to remove a few cars, but almost 200 of them have been removed from the website. So I think we all know why they've done this. I mean, the best example of this would be the Sterling GT. Now, it makes no sense to remove this vehicle because last year I had a HSW upgrade for it. I think it was the last summer update, and now it's been removed from the website, so you can't buy it. But guess where it is? If you saw my other video, you might have seen it the other day, or if you've been there yourself, the Vinewood Car Club. So you can only buy this car if you're a GTA Plus member. And it's a good vehicle as well. I mean, if you're doing HSW races, you're going to need this car because it is pretty quick. So I've heard people saying they did this to clean up the website, to get rid of some of the cars that have been in the game for a while. But I think there's definitely more to come of this. It's not just for that reason. Because like what some people have been saying, they would have added in a new website for some of the older cars if they wanted to clean up the websites. So take something like the Feltzer. With the next DLC update, are we going to get an HSW Feltzer? And the only way to get the HSW Feltzer is by getting GTA Plus and buying it from Vinewood Car Club. Anyway, hopefully everyone has a go at them and they revert this, but I don't see them doing that because, like I was just saying, they've done this for monetary reasons. They've not done it to clean up the websites. Moving on from that, with this update now, you can't even go in your bunker. You can't even go in your bunker whilst you've got a personal vehicle out and be safe, because guess what, if you go in your bunker, you're going to lose your vehicle. Now, I had this happen to somebody that I know, and it's with a vehicle that you can't buy anymore, so he's going to have to do something to get that car back now. It's ridiculous, isn't it? How do you mess up your game this much? How do you mess up your game this much where you can't even enter a property without losing a vehicle? You know what I mean? That is just so weird. It's so weird. But it doesn't stop there, because some people have had the MOC cabin reverted. Now, at first, I thought it was just people that had a modded one. Maybe it had F1 wheels or something on there. But that's not the case. It seems to be seemingly randomly that people have had the MOC cabins reset for whatever reason. Now, I've not had this happen to me, but when the update first came out, my Avenger had reverted back to stock, and I couldn't upgrade it or anything. I could put some of the upgrades on there, you know, two of the new ones, but all the other new ones, such as the missile system, the self module, if I took the Avenger outside, it would just revert back to stock. It seems to be fine now because I've just tried it and it still works, but if you've not checked up on your service vehicles, check up on your service vehicles, because you might have had them reverted. Now, just a couple of things that I want to talk about quickly. The career progress tab. It seems like the career progress tab, I think it's a good idea. I talked about it in my last video, but it seems like a lot of the things aren't being tracked properly, or a lot of the things that you've done in the past haven't been counted. I mean, not really too much to talk about this, because it's just annoying. If you've done things and you've got to do them again, I mean, I'm not going to rant about that for too long, but whatever, I'm pretty sure that's not going to get fixed either, so that's something we're just going to have to deal with. Now, something else we're going to have to deal with still, if you're an Xbox Series XS, is the controller input bug, where you just can't input anything anymore, and then you have to restart the game to play the game again. Now, I've not had it happen to me, but I have seen reports of it online, of it still happening to people. Whether how true that is or not, I don't know. But if it is still there, I can see this easily being something that is just there forever with this game now, because how do you even patch something like that? That's such a weird bug. Can you think of any other game that has had this bug? Because I can't. How are they going to fix it? What is causing it? It's incredibly weird. Now, the missions, again, I don't really know where to begin. I've just finished playing them all as well, and there's 6 of them in total. I played them all on my own, hard mode, and the first thing I'm going to say is, I don't think they've scaled the difficulty properly for how many people are actually playing the missions. I think there was a point on every single mission that I played, I stopped and thought, you're not meant to do this on your own. This has not been designed for one player. I mean, let's talk about this. For an example, on the last mission, you have to push the cargo all the way to your Avenger, right? However, you've got to constantly stop pushing the cargo to shooting enemies that are just spawning out of nowhere. It's just, you've got an infinite amount of enemies just coming for you. You've got to shoot out mercenaries, you've got to take down helicopters, all whilst pushing cargo, and you can't shoot at the same time as pushing the cargo. You've got to keep stopping over and over again. And this must have taken me about, well, at least half of the time spent doing this mission, I was probably trying to push that cargo along. But as I was saying, it was just clearly never intended to be played solo, and I don't get why they've not scaled the difficulty properly for how many people are playing. So, for example, those enemies shouldn't have just been spawning in constantly all the time. there should have been a limited number of enemies that I had to kill before I could push that cargo along. Now, it makes sense with 4 players, but not on your own. I mean, the first mission was a bit boring. You just go over to the quarry and blow stuff up and drive away. I must say the Draugr did look alright though. Did like that. Not really much to say about the first mission. Now, the second mission isn't great. The second mission isn't great at all. So you have to go over to 2 areas and use the camera on the Avenger to find cargo that is underwater, and then you've got to go and get the cargo under the water. I mean, that sounds tedious on its own, but when you take into the fact that you've got an infinite amount of enemies that are coming after you, you keep blowing up helicopters and they keep respawning back in, it's just not a fun mission to play at all. So if you're playing this on your own, you can't kill the helicopters before 2 more spawn in, get the cargo without being safe. Because guess what? The enemies on the helicopter are going to laser you through the water. So you have to be very quick whilst doing it, and you've got to be snacking up constantly as well. Now, on parade, you know what? I didn't mind this, when you're shooting the targets. This mission became a problem when the actual enemies spawned and you had to shoot them down. Yet another mission that felt like it was intended for 4 players, not 1. So like I was saying earlier, why they didn't scale the difficulty for how many people were playing, I have no idea. Now, this one probably took me the longest amount of time to complete. I think the annoying thing about this was the lasers being so much slower than the Raiju. I definitely crashed into them and died a few times because of them. But shooting down the Avengers, if you want to do that legitimately, he's so annoying. I mean, one of them's fine to take out, but when I was playing this thing, the other Avenger was just like going around in some sort of death loop. Just, what is the AI doing? I mean, look at it. What is going on? So I had to take it out with the rockets, which that took a lot longer because the health on these Avengers is up there, I tell you that. Again, it was as if it were intended for 4 players, not 1. Anyway, overall with on parade, whatever, it's just, I'm glad I got it out of the way. Really glad I got it out of the way. Now the 4th mission, I forgot which one this is. I'm gonna have to check the gameplay. Hang on, 2 seconds. The 4th one. The 4th one's a bit short and sweet. You basically just go to a warehouse, kill people, steal things, and drive back, and that's all you do. I mean, not really much to say about this one. Now the 5th mission, I quite enjoyed this. I'd probably have to say this is the best one that I've played. I didn't manage to complete it stealthily. However, for some reason, I just enjoyed it. I think my only complaint with this mission was the enemies just spawning in, infinitely over and over again after you'd killed them. That was a bit annoying, but other than that, I quite enjoyed it. Now the 6th mission, we've already spent a bit of time going over this, but you know what? I don't think I would have disliked the mission if they didn't just keep on spawning in over and over and over again. And like I said, it was as if it were just intended for 4 players and not 1. That was my issue with it. And I think this mission is the greatest example of that. So if you're going to do these missions on hard mode, on your own, good luck to you. You're going to need it. Anyway, that's all I've got to talk about today. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other things that I've not talked about that are terrible with this DLC update. I've seen that many things with this update, I probably forgot a few things, so I don't know. If there's anything I've not talked about, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like and also subscribe for more content to come. It really does help me out, especially leaving a like. I might have some more videos up, but at the minute I've not really got anything planned, but I'm looking into planning a few, so keep an eye out. Until next time guys, goodbye.